Michael Jordan, the name that's synonymous with greatness. But did you know that his path to becoming the GOAT wasn't always paved with championships and success? From his humble beginnings to conquering the NBA, Jordan's journey is packed with shocking twists, epic comebacks, and jaw-dropping moments you won't believe. What happened off the court is just as legendary as his iconic dunks and game-winning shots. Stick around as we uncover the untold story behind MJ's rise to immortality and how it almost all fell apart. Michael Jordan is often regarded as the greatest basketball player ever to play. His legendary career has shaped not just the NBA, but the entire sports landscape. Today, we'll explore his journey, from his humble beginnings to becoming a global icon. A career full of unforgettable moments, countless championships, and unyielding determination. This is the story of Michael Jordan. Early years and introduction to the NBA. Born on February 17, 1963, in Brooklyn, New York, Michael Jeffrey Jordan was a natural-born competitor. His family relocated to North Carolina when he was just a toddler, where his basketball journey would truly begin. He played high school basketball at Emsley A. Laney High School, where his talent quickly stood out. Despite being cut from the varsity team as a sophomore, Jordan didn't let this setback define him. Instead, he used it as motivation, working harder than ever. At the University of North Carolina, Jordan's game reached new heights. Under coach Dean Smith, Jordan became a key player on the Tar Heels national championship team in 1982. His clutch shot in the final seconds of that game against Georgetown proved to be a defining moment that set him apart from his peers. When Jordan declared for the NBA draft in 1984, no one could have predicted the seismic impact he would have on the league. NBA career. The Chicago Bulls era. Jordan was selected by the Chicago Bulls with the 3rd overall pick in the 1984 NBA draft. From the very start, it was clear he was a force to be reckoned with. In his rookie season, he averaged 28.2 points per game, winning the NBA Rookie of the Year award. But while his brilliance was clear, the Chicago Bulls were still a team in transition. Jordan's talent shone through, but the Bulls weren't quite ready to contend for a championship. Despite his early success, it wasn't until the late 1980s that Jordan began to mature as a player. By 1989, he was no longer just a scorer. His basketball IQ had grown, his defense was stifling, and he was becoming the leader the Bulls needed. First championship, the 1991 NBA Finals. The 1990 to 1991 season would mark the first of many for Michael Jordan. The Bulls were finally ready to contend for an NBA title. Jordan, along with teammates like Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, led Chicago to the NBA Finals, where they faced the Los Angeles Lakers. In this series, Jordan proved that he was not just an individual talent. He was a winner. In Game 2 of the Finals, Jordan's iconic flu game showcased his incredible will to win. Despite battling a fever, Jordan scored 38 points in a critical Game 5 to lead the Bulls to a 90-88 win over the Utah Jazz, giving the Bulls their 5th NBA title. The first three-peat, 1991 to 1993. Jordan's dominance was undeniable during the Bulls' first three-peat from 1991 to 1993. In this period, the Bulls won 3 straight NBA championships, and Jordan was named Finals MVP each time. His scoring was unmatchable, his defense impenetrable, and his leadership was second to none. But there was more to Jordan's game than just raw talent. He was a student of the game, always learning, always adapting. One of his greatest evolutions was his ability to trust his teammates. In 1993, when the Chicago Bulls were facing the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals, many expected Jordan to take the final shot. But in a show of uncharacteristic humility, Jordan passed the ball to John Paxson, who nailed a game-winning three-pointer, securing Chicago's 3rd consecutive championship. By the end of the 1993 Finals, Jordan had averaged an incredible 41.0 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game on 51% shooting. It was clear Jordan was at the peak of his powers. Yet following that triumph, Jordan shocked the world. The retirement and return to basketball. After winning 3 consecutive titles, Jordan retired unexpectedly in 1993, following the tragic death of his father. The NBA had lost its brightest star, and fans across the world were left wondering what could have been. However, Jordan's love for basketball never truly disappeared. After a brief stint in minor league baseball, Jordan made one of the most iconic returns in sports history. He released a 2-word press release that would go down in history: "I'm back." And with that, Michael Jordan returned to the Chicago Bulls in 1995. In just his 5th game back, Jordan scored 55 points against the New York Knicks. But while his scoring was still elite, his game wasn't quite at the level it had been before his retirement. He was rusty, and his shooting struggled as he worked to regain his rhythm. The second three-peat, 1996 to 1998. But by the time the 1996 season began, Jordan was back to his old self. The Chicago Bulls were now a juggernaut, boasting one of the most well-rounded teams in NBA history. With Jordan, Pippen, and the addition of players like Dennis Rodman and Steve Kerr, the Bulls dominated the league. They posted a record-breaking 72-10 season, the best in NBA history at the time. In the playoffs, the Bulls breezed through their competition. In the NBA Finals, they faced the Seattle Supersonics, where Jordan was slowed down for the first time in years by the defensive efforts of Gary Payton. But Jordan, never one to be outshined, found ways to outplay Payton and led the Bulls to their 4th championship. The following season, in 1997, the Bulls faced the Utah Jazz once more in the NBA Finals. Game 5 of that series became legendary thanks to Jordan's flu game. Despite being severely ill, Jordan put up 38 points to help the Bulls win the pivotal game. The Bulls would go on to win their 5th title with Jordan hitting another iconic game-winning shot in Game 6. The final championship, 1998. The 1998 season would mark the end of an era. While still dominant, Jordan was no longer in the peak physical condition that had once made him unstoppable. His efficiency had dipped, and injuries had started to take their toll. Yet, even in the face of adversity, Jordan led the Bulls to one last championship. The Bulls faced the Utah Jazz once again in the 1998 Finals. The series was as grueling as any in NBA history. In Game 6, with the score tied and just seconds remaining, Jordan hit perhaps the most iconic shot of his career. The game-winning shot over Byron Russell, clinching his 6th NBA championship. Legacy. With 6 championships, 6 Finals MVPs, and countless accolades, Michael Jordan cemented his place as the greatest player in NBA history. His impact on the game transcended the sport itself, and his influence on basketball culture is still felt to this day. When we talk about Michael Jordan's career, we often break it down into 3 distinct parts. His early years, where he was an electrifying scorer. His first three-peat, where he honed his craft and led the Bulls to dominance. And his second three-peat, where he and his team solidified their legacy as one of the greatest in sports history. Jordan's career wasn't just about the titles or the scoring records. It was about his ability to rise above every challenge, his relentless work ethic, and his unwavering commitment to greatness. Whether it was overcoming personal tragedy, facing fierce competition, or adapting his game as he aged, Michael Jordan proved time and time again that he was the greatest of all time. That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into the greatest athletes of all time.